Event number 7, push-pull 2.0. I'm Chase Ingram. Along with me is Adrian Conway. We'll have Mike Arsenault join us later in the event. We have 2 heats down. We've seen it twice. Push-pull 2.0. 2 more heats left.
Hey, it's giving them all they're asking for. 45 handstand push-ups they can do anyway. 80-foot sled pull. You see that star there? It weighs 70 pounds, and then the sled's 110. 30 strict handstand push-ups, another 80-foot sled pull, and then 15 freestanding handstand push-ups to finish.
Your lane assignments for heat number 3. Your 2-time CrossFit Games champ, Justin Medeiros, who just had one of his best finishes in his career in the previous event in the clean ladder. Just a few points out of a top 10 at the moment.
He's 100 points out from first place, Chase. That seems like a lot, but when you have the opportunity to get 100 points in an event like he does right now with his handstand push-up prowess, he's one of the best upside down that we see, and we know that he can seize the moment.
And the only athlete that competed in the 2013 games just next to him has an opportunity to have his best finishes of his career. He's currently sitting in 12th. His best finish is 10th back in 2016.
Stand by.
Heat 3 underway, 10 athletes. Bjorgman Carl Gudmundsson in lane 9 did this event in 2014 along with Travis Mayer, but there's a couple athletes in here that might sneak up on you, and that's lane 8, Cole Griesaber.
Absolutely. We saw what he can do at the semifinal level. That row handstand walk that every one of these athletes went through. He was running upside down, Chase. You put shoes on his hands, and I would have been sadly mistaken for someone completely cheating on the workout.
And then last year, the CrossFit Games with inverted medley that had 16 freestanding handstand push-ups in the midst of that event, both directions, taking that as his only event win here at the CrossFit Games. So keep an eye on Cole Griesaber.
And what I like already is he's taking his time, Chase. He's doing what we know a veteran makes the hard choice to do in the middle of a test is be composed, let the other competitors accumulate the work, stay in your own lane, focus on what's going to make you successful at the end.
Saxon Panchek currently has your time to beat at 6:31.80. He was 53 seconds off the first 45 as Chris Ibarra is first off the wall and onto the sled.
Chris building momentum first with some strict pulls there, using a lot of arms, not really hips, and now he's finally getting some of those hips into the pool to save his upper body.
Ibarra's got some company. Justin Medeiros and Travis Mayer just to his left. Here comes Henrik Haapalainen as well as Harry Lightfoot. Top of your screen, Cole Griesaber and Bjorgman Carl Gudmundsson.
Yeah, we see a lot of different techniques going down. Medeiros using the very strong, aggressive pulls, trying to create as much momentum on the sled as possible. Travis Mayer just over his shoulder, using more upper body, and now using his legs.
Catching up quick, Justin Medeiros and Travis Mayer. Justin Medeiros, Travis Mayer done with their sled pull at the same time as Chris Ibarra. Time check 2:13. Still off the pace from Saxon Panchek, but a lot of things can happen in these middle strict 30 handstand push-ups.
That's right. Athletes have to catch a groove. A lot of times what will happen in a handstand push-up, Chase, is that there's a very specified rhythm and movement pattern that you can hit that just feels very right. It almost makes your body feel light when you hit the groove. But if you don't hit the groove, after just a few, when you're used to doing 6 to 8 at a time, 3 can make you feel tremendously heavy. Can they catch the groove is the question.
Chris Ibarra on the left, 6th place, coming out of the North America West Coast Classic semifinal. Trying to keep pace with Travis Mayer and Justin Medeiros on the right side of your screen.
Both athletes breaking their reps into 5s and 6s, chipping away at the 30.
Chris Ibarra currently trains with Jacob Hebner up at the barn. He's been doing that for the last several months, and I can see Hebner pulling out some things like this in training just to get him prepped for the CrossFit Games.
No doubt about it. Jacob Hebner, historically an athlete with very high capacity, very creative programming individual as well, known to create some couplets and triplets that can leave you on your knees.
Top part of your screen is your leader pass. Chris Ibarra is now done. BKG is actually moved within 7 reps of him. As Ibarra will run at 80 feet across the floor, have a seat on the platform, and pull that 180-pound total sled back across the floor before he has those 15 freestanding handstand push-ups waiting for him before the finish line. Ibarra 15th overall has said that he wants that Rookie of the Year title this year.
He's in a great situation to get it right now, Chase. I'll tell you, with the lead that he has, making pulls of the sled, the way that he paced the 75 handstand push-ups that have already taken place, he's poised to have a great finish, but it's all going to be about the final 15.
Travis Mayer is done with his 30 strict. Ibarra has a much bigger lead than he did on Travis Mayer, even though Mayer and Medeiros ended up catching Ibarra on that first sled pull. Ibarra doing the big pulls on the left, but Travis Mayer opting for that hand-over-hand pull.
Yeah, interesting technique here by Travis. It must just feel right. I'm sure he's played with it. Maybe he understands that it's going to pay off well for him.
Saxon Panchak and Chris Ibarra were done right around the same time at 4:40. Time to beat 6:31. And Ibarra looking much more comfortable than Saxon did on his first 3.
Chase.
And I thought he was going to go for it.
I thought he was too, and I'll tell you, I haven't seen anyone look that composed on their first 3 though to even start. Typically we see a little falter, a couple miscues. There we go.
And that is welcome the announcers first, right?
Well, hey, here's the focus here, and everybody watching at home can understand this. You've got to first master the headstand position. If you master that tripod position with your head and your hands making a triangle, you have a great base. If you can feel the base and create it, then you might be able to revisit dynamically like this. But if athletes don't spend a ton of time in the headstand position, it's going to make them struggle.
Here comes Travis Mayer. So Chris Ibarra had an extended lead on Travis Mayer. And look out for Bjorgvin Carl Goodmanson on the right side of your screen. He's there as well. BKG fell over on his first attempt, as Chris Ibarra is taking yet another break, and we are 30 seconds away from the time by Saxon Panchak.
Well, here comes Travis. Here comes Justin.
It's just a matter of finding that perfect balance between pushing the limits and maintaining the technique here.
BKG has yet to get past his first 3. Actually had 9 years of competitive gymnastics prior to in his youth. And Saxon's time of 6:31 is going to stand for one more heat. BKG, 11 consecutive CrossFit Games. It's just him and Cole Sager stand alone with that accomplishment.
And we simply haven't done a ton of gymnastics up until this point in the week, Chase. So when we think about the finishings, I mean, Saxon has as good a chance of any for that time to potentially stand the rest of the heats.
Travis Mayers has company. Justin Medeiros is now joined. 6 reps down, 9 to go. They must do 3 unbroken within that yellow section. 9 down, 6 to go. Justin Medeiros, Travis Mayer. Will not get the time to beat, but they're still trying to finish because not a lot of athletes have. Mayer will come down, Medeiros will get through. 3 reps left for Justin Medeiros. Won the CrossFit Games in 21 and 22. One of only 5 athletes that qualified for the ranch in 2020. One more rep for Medeiros. Mom and Dad looking on the left. And Medeiros will get underneath the 8-minute mark. And that should be close to a top 3 time. Callum Clemens was at 8 minutes in the previous heat, where Saxon Panchak was still at 6:31.
Yeah, great finish there for Justin Medeiros. Again, building momentum after what we just saw him do on that clean ladder.
And on the platform, that's Cole Freestanding. He was near dead last off of the handstand push-ups and just ran the tables on those 15 freestanding handstand push-ups. Hands got to get past the line. There's not necessarily a show control, but they got to get across the line before the feet hit the floor.
Yeah, Chase, just to depict this too, we talked about not a ton of gymnastics leading up into this point in the week, so it's something that hasn't been a tested element. We saw some rope climbs, so there was some hanging there. However, this is one of those events that could completely flip-flop or begin the flip-flopping process from what we see at the top of the leaderboard to the mid-leaderboard, even to the bottom at this point.
I mean, we've already had that 3 times in the last 3 events, and you're right, we could have another one. The men's race is tied on top of the leaderboard. What a save by Harry Lightfoot. 15 seconds till we hit the 10-minute count.
10 seconds. 3, 2, 1.
And that'll do it for heat number 3. As Justin Medeiros takes his heat. 11th place coming in. And depending on what happens in the next heat, he could find himself in the top 10 going into Sunday.
That's right. We knew this could be anyone's heat, and we know this about push-pull 2.0. It can change. The lead can change hands several times. It was Chris Ibarra early, and it looked like he had some really great momentum, and in fact he did, leading all the way into the 15 free handstand push-ups. But then as the pressure began to mount, he had some stumbles, and it was Justin Medeiros, who is in disguise tonight as Clark Kent with his glasses on, that executed nothing like that, and more like Superman to finish as he caught his glasses even as he finished across, but not without the help of Mama and Papa Medeiros, to say the least. And then in slow-mo, can't leave these behind.
Justin Medeiros pulling his best Dan Bailey across the finish line. Catches his glasses, and man, I don't know if you saw in the background, but Grease Saber went unbroken end to end to close things out there. He just too much in the very beginning. Grease Saber 8:06, and he was a minute or 2 behind the rest of these guys. Justin Medeiros 7:56. That's good enough for 3rd overall.